Hello everyone, Amod here from the Target Common YouTube channel, and in this video tutorial we are going to learn about relative locators in Selenium WebDriver. So relative locators were introduced in Selenium 4, and as per official documentation of Selenium WebDriver, it says that relative locators are helpful when it is not easy to construct a locator for the desired element but easy to describe, especially where the element is in relation to an element that does have an easily constructed locator. So let's understand what does it mean the element is in relation to an element. Here I have simple web page and it has two input boxes. In fact, these input boxes are calendars. First calendar will allow you to select your birthday and second calendar will allow you to select the meeting date. Can I say that the first calendar is in the right of select your birthday label, or I can say that select your birthday label is in left of first calendar text box, or we can say that all these wave elements are above submit button, or all these wave elements are below interactive calendar example, or I can say that select a meeting date label is near to submit button. So here we are visualizing the wave elements on the browser and saying one element can be identified with respect of another one. So if you want to identify one element with respect to another web element, considering how they are appearing, we can use relative locators. So we have total 5 relative locators: above, below, left of, right of, and near. So basically Selenium uses one JavaScript function called getBoundingClientRect, and this method gives the size and position of element on the page, and Selenium uses this information to locate its neighbor elements. So first we are going to see how can we use these relative locators in Selenium, and then we'll see some real-time use cases where you can use these locators effectively. Here I have already created a basic program where I'm loading the web page where I have these two calendar text boxes, and all these HTML web pages you can find in my GitHub project. Let's inspect first calendar input box. Here we have ID, name, and obviously we can write better locators, but we are going to apply relative locator concept here. I just use simple XPath. So press Ctrl F / input, and I'm going to use type equal to text attribute. So here it is finding total two wave elements, first calendar input box and second calendar input box. But here I don't want second one, I want first one. So here we can use index, or we have some different attributes. Obviously you can use that, but I'm going to say that give me the calendar input box which is in the right of select your birthday label. So I'm going to use Chrome driver dot find element, and here we have a class called relative locator which has a method called with, which is taking a byte type. So here you need to give the locator of that element which you want to identify. So I'm going to use this locator using by.xpath, or whatever locator you write, you need to use the appropriate method. So as of now, this XPath will give me total two wave elements, but I want something which is in the right of one label. So here use dot, and we have method to left of. So here we are applying method chaining, and here you need to give the locator of element from where you want to find your target element. That means I need to give the locator of this particular wave element. So let me quickly identify this wave element. So I'm going to use label and use text. Copy this locator and paste here by.xpath, and probably I'm going to simply click on that. So let's understand this statement again. I'm saying that give me the element which can be identified using this locator but not uniquely, because as of now it is returning total two wave elements. So I'm giving reference of another wave element. Actually it should be to right of. So I'm saying that give me this element which is on the right of this label, or on the right of this element. Let me quickly run this program and see whether it is able to click on first calendar input box or not. Here you can see it is able to click on first calendar input box successfully. Now let's see the reverse example. I'm going to extract this text which is in the left of first calendar input box. Or let me try to use second text box. So I'm going to locate this calendar input box properly using some ID Chrome driver dot find element. Which element I want to find? I want to find this label. So let me inspect this label, and here suppose I don't have the proper locator. But we know that this element is a tag of label. So I'm going to use relative locator dot with, and here I can use by dot tag name to put the label. So as of now I am saying that give me element of type label tag, but this element should be present in the left of some element. So I'm going to use to left of this second calendar input box. Let me inspect this input box and get the proper locator, which might be ID here. So I'm going to write by dot ID and pass the value. Then I'm going to call getText method, which I'm going to store into a variable of type string, and let me print this string, and I'm going to comment first statement. So let me quickly run and see whether it is printing the text or not. So here you can see it has printed the label. And please understand that there might be more than one wave element in the left or right or above or below or near to a wave element. It is not like that it is going to find the nearest one. If I say that give me the elements above submit button, then all these wave elements are above the submit button. So we have seen the example of two right of, two left of. Let's see the example of above and below. So these two labels are above the submit button. So I'm going to find all the labels which are above submit button. So this time I'm going to use Chrome driver dot find elements, and I'm going to say that by dot again I can use tag name, and let me pass the tag name is label, because both the labels are of label tag. So here I am missing relative locator dot with, and then I need to pass by dot tag name. So now let's say above and by dot, let me find the locator of this submit button. So I'm going to use path here. So input type equal to submit. So it will be by dot xpath and just pass the value. And this time it is going to return me a list of wave element, because I am using here find elements method. Let me import list, and then I'm going to use all labels dot for each. It will give me element one by one, and I'm going to use sysout le dot get text. Let me run this program and see whether it is returning me total two labels or not. So in the console, we can see it is returning me two labels. Now if you want to use below method, then I'm going to use this header as the reference element. So let me quickly inspect this header, and I'm going to use, I think if you use H1, it will be uniquely identifying this one. So here I'm going to use below, and here again the condition will be give me all the labels which is below H1. And instead of XPath, I'm going to use tag name. So in the previous example, it was above submit button. This time it is below this header. Let me quickly run this program and see whether it is printing the labels or not. So here you can see it is printing the labels. Official documentation of Selenium WebDriver, it says that we should use this relative locators when it is not easy to construct a locator for the desired element, which is not appropriate use case according to me. We can use these relative locators smartly in many cases. Let me give you one example. Here I have a web page which contains a list of books, and all these books are shown in a tile. For example, first tile gives the detail of book title 1, and it has author detail and price. Similarly, second tile has the details of book title 2 with the author and price. I can say that this author and price belong to this book. Similarly, this author and price belong to book title 2. Now, if I say you that give me the price or author of book title 1 or book title 8. So obviously we can write some locator for these web elements. So I'm going to inspect this web page. I will first locate the book title, which is in H2. So copy the title, use two slashes H2, and give the text value, which is book title 1. Now, since I need to fetch the price, so we are currently here, which is alone. So I need to go up so that I can get the parent. So we can use XPath access, or I can use slash dot dot. So now it is covering the entire div. Price is under second P. So I am going to expand this one, and let me use two slashes P. Now you can see it is identifying total two elements. So I am going to go one step further. That means give me the P where it has one strong tag with the text price. So I'm going to use slash strong, then text equal to price. Now I need to go up so that I can easily fetch my price, because this P contains the price label and value. So this much big locator I need to write to find the price of any book. You just need to change the book title and it will give you the price of that. But if they add more details here, like the basic introduction of book or how many copies are sold, then your XPath might be broken. But one thing we can surely say that this information will be below book title. Let's try to implement relative locators in this example. This HTML web page is in relative locator 3.html. So I'm going to change from relative locator 2 to 3. Use Chrome diver dot find element by dot xpath or whatever locator you want to use. And I know that all the book tiles share the same pattern. So I'm going to uniquely identify this price. So let me remove everything and just use slash slash strong. So you can see it is identifying total 8 web elements because we have 8 books here. So we are not able to find the price uniquely. So I'm going to use this locator as of now here. So I am simply saying, but before that, let me give relative locators dot width, and within that I need to pass the by dot path. So what I'm saying here that give me the price. So it is going to return you all the 8 prices, but I don't want that. I want price which is below of some book title. So use dot below and let's locate this book title 1. So I'm going to use simple XPath with the text comparison. So text equal to, so it is uniquely identifying that element. So let me copy this and paste it here. And I'm going to use get text. I'm missing by dot XPath. There will be one more closing parenthesis. That's all. Let me store into variable called price and I'm going to print price here. Let me quickly run this program and see whether it is printing the price correctly or not. You can see it has printed the price 10.99, which is the expected one. So this code will work if they try to add more information about book in the same tile. It might be possible that price might be moved above the book name. So instead of using below or above or left or right, we can use near. So in all the cases it will work. So that's all in this video. If you have any doubt, please comment on this video. If you really like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe and share with others. Thank you everyone.